Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. That one hurt. These hurt big time. Now, big battles like this, I'm going to probably put into their own little series. Sort of, they were kind of like, yeah, nah. But I think they deserve more recognition than to be put into a yeah, nah. Because these are truly amazing battles, high damage battles, but I mean they hurt. They really hurt. So every now and again when we do have these big damage games that are not a win, I will just put them in a random video that are not in yeah nah. So we're going to start off with T54 on Canal. Now the T54, when top tier, is a truly amazing tank. It is such a strong tank. Don't know how he got that shot there on the turret of the T54 on the enemy team, but he managed it. He only could see a slight bit of the turret and he was still able to penetrate. So far he's pumped out 1730 damage. He hasn't taken any damage in return, but that is going to change very shortly. He was going to chase behind the T54s, but as soon as he was doing so, the Panther 2 became spotted, and he's not the only one there either. There is also a T34 there. So even though the intention was to flank behind the two T54s, it was a good choice to make, to be honest. It was a good choice. But unfortunately, they weren't alone. And again, he did exactly the same thing. He was going to chase the Panther 2, and then the T34 was spotted. However, the T34 did just somehow miss his shot, and now he has to just fight a Panther 2. Now, the Panther 2's got good penetration. It's got great DPM. Even in a tier 9, the Panther 2 is having no trouble really whatsoever. There was a couple of bounces there that he managed to get, which were vital. But now he has to fight the T34. Now, he gets lucky with the T34 because this T34 doesn't seem like a great player, and he does get another bounce. So just as he was getting behind, the T54E1 on his team does manage to set him on fire and clear him. So at the moment, it's looking quite comfortable for his team. It's a 4-on-3. The VK, okay, in the bottom there. He's not in a great position, but he's keeping the 3 tanks that are last alive spotted and open. So our guy is about to get a few shots on the Emil 2. Now, the Emil 2 is a great tank, and he actually does a fantastic battle. Nice track shot. I know he was going for the damage, but that was still a nice track shot on the Jagdtiger. Here comes the Emil 2. He needs to try and focus on this Emil 2. He's the one pushing. He's the only one available to shoot at the moment. And while he's pushing on his team, he is just literally sitting in a bush, unspotted, farming some damage. So still, it's looking okay. The Emil 2 is bleeding hit points. The Jagdtiger's low. Okay, there's a VK 100 still on quite enough hit points. But if he's able to save his hit points, clear these 2 tanks, and then go for the VK. The VK doesn't have much DPM at all. And now this is where RNG is not on his side. He does hit the bottom plate there, but because it's AP and the angle, he does bounce. Now, luckily for the Emil 2, he gets out of the way and he goes for another tank. So it's at the moment it is now a 2 versus 3. But the VK and the Jagdtiger are both pretty much sitting on cap, so they need to go reset the cap. The Emil 2, he's very low hit points, but he's gone out of sight, which we assume he's just going up the hill around by the C area to get behind the T54E1. Now, our guy is rushing the cap. He hopefully can clear the Jagdtiger. He has to go for the Jagdtiger first, as he is a one-shot, and the VK just shot. So he now has a couple of the opportunity to get a couple of shots into the VK whilst he is reloading. Now he needs to do this. He needs to take out this guy while the Emil 2 is not spotted. He needs to take out this guy whilst he's pretty much on his own. So as soon as he brings him down to a one shot, the VK does turn. So he has to be careful. Yes, he can take a shot from the guy, but that means he'd be a one shot to the Emil 2. He does just that. So 3 kills, and it's now down to a 1 versus 1.
1. If he's lucky enough, he can clear the VK, the Emil, with 1 shot, but he has to be careful because the Emil has got 2 or even 3 shells reloaded. He's only going to be able to get the 1 shot to the Emils, maybe 2 shots, almost 3 shots. So he has to be very, very careful. Now, RNG again is not on his side. Those of you that have seen streams of mine, these Emils are so frustrating. You shoot the side, even with AP, and it only tracks him, does no damage whatsoever. And for me personally, that where he shot should have done damage, but because he didn't do any damage, he's now a 1 shot. So as soon as he shoots, the Emil is able to get around the corner and take him out. So very, very unlucky. Still a great game, but well played to the Emil too, staying alive and actually winning the game for the red team. 7,247 damage. Well played, Devastator. That was, I bet you're a bit devastated after that game. So moving on to the next game. Now this one's quite a weird game. It is Jeremy King in the Object 704. Now a few mistakes were also made in this game that could have probably changed the outcome, but it doesn't help his team, especially his medium, not doing what medium tanks should do. So it is Castilla, and it's actually quite a It's a good map. It's a perfect map for a TD, depending on what the enemy team do. If the enemy team push the heavy side, then it will be a great position, especially if the majority of his team are also going onto the heavy side as well. But the first minute of this game was just wasted in raging at this T-34-2 that tries to get up the hill. Everyone's saying, look, don't go. The Progetto is just sat at the back. I mean, everyone's saying report the T-34-2, report the Progetto, but fair play. Like the Progetto, yes, he's probably not a good player, but to report him for what? Not pushing A on his own against 2 mediums and a light tank? Like, that's just suicide. Fair again, the T-34-2, maybe he was sitting there thinking, well, if me and the Progetto go left, we could be on our own against 3 mediums or 2 mediums and a light tank. So maybe pushing right would be the best option in this game. And the T-34-2 actually went to go onto the sniper position, but then he started to cross the river towards B. So in my opinion, that was not really anything wrong with what these players did. Yes, there goes the Progetto very, very quickly, but they would have died even quicker if they would have pushed up the castle. And yeah, okay, they could have spotted him a bit earlier, but this is where maybe a TD or maybe a heavy should have decided, you know what, I'm going to go and help the mediums, otherwise they might be overrun, especially as the AMX 5120 is also there with the medium and the light tank. So in my opinion, they should have pushed on the heavy side. They should have pushed the heavy side, but it is what it is. Jeremy's able now to sit at the back. He's very close to the enemy, but because he's behind a bush, he's very close, but he's not being spotted because of this bush, which allows him to get a few shots in on the RU-251, and he is able to clear now the Pantera, and again, without even being spotted. So 2,100 damage at the moment. It is a 4 versus 6 already. His team are vanishing very, very quickly. Now he's able to get one more shot in on the AMX 5120 before the AMX can spot him, and by the time he does spot him, he's reloaded and he's able to get a couple of shots. The first shot was blocked. He's now going to go for the RU-251. Ignore that message, Chelsea. Okay, from my daughter there, but he does manage to take him out. And now the AMX 5120 is on a reload, so he's just going to try and get close to him. He's able to get a shot off there, and now the next shot, he's got a high roll loaded, so hopefully he will be able to clear this guy. He should be just about reloaded now. You can see the AMX trying to aim for the weak point, but he just took too long, and Jeremy was able to take him out. But his team have been getting wrecked. It's now, there goes the KPF. It's now a 2 versus 4. There's a lot of hit points left, and Jeremy's already on 4.7k damage. Now, this T69 is quite funny. He gets one shot there, brings him down to just under 800 hit points. He is spotted, so he's just going to back up. He's just just trying to get into a position, and now the T69 has kind of got himself stuck. But just before he gets out of that position he was in, Jeremy with the HE there is able to clear him. So nice use of the HE at a perfect time. But his teammate now, the WZ, is getting rushed, so he has to be quick. The IS-5 is a one-shot. Hopefully we need to take the IS-5 out, but the IS-5 is not coming from behind the bush. And now he finds himself on his own against 3 tanks. So he's doing a good job at the moment. He needs to, again, he's got a high roll. He needs to clear that guy. Lovely high roll, or lovely average kind of roll there to clear the guy. At least he didn't low roll. So 7.4k damage, 7.4k, and he's on 5 kills. 5 kills. Now, he had the time there to switch to the HE. He needed to switch to that HE there. He's only got 1 HE loaded, and that was the perfect opportunity to use it. That would have got the waffle down to a 1-shot. But now, because he's got no HE left, he is on a 2-shot. So that is going to prove vital in a very short minute. The IS-5 as well, he's a 1-shot. Now, the problem, what we've got here now, is the supremacy. The supremacy, he has to do something. If he just sits there, then he's not going to be able to do anything. And unfortunately for him, not even a 500 roll there. He does bounce the IS-5, and now he has to push. He has to push one of them. He's got no repair kit just yet. He does manage to repair, but by the time he does repair, these guys would have probably been reloaded. Now, I don't think now is the time for a blind shot there on the IS-5, but he gets away with it this time. He gets another bounce, and another bounce from the waffle. He's going to go for the waffle. I think at this point he knows it's game over. He's going to be able to take one out, so he's going to go for the one with the most hit points. He's on 8.6k damage. He has bounced 3k, which is very good, very, very good in an Object 704. But as soon as he takes the waffle out, he is taken out by the IS-5, which is such a shame. 9,095 damage, 6 kills, very, very close to the Rosani there. 9,000 damage in a tier 9, absolutely incredible. Very, very close to the win there, but just unfortunately not enough. Hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meadsy, and I will catch you all very soon. Bye bye. With